Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. In this video we're doing a quick update on about 4 or 5 different things. One, I've got a mould problem in my car that I need some advice with. 2, we're going to have a look at the test panel that I used to test all those 5 spray sealants on: the bead maker, the BSD, the reload, the wet coat, the gloss and guard. 3, we're going to talk about some new Griots products that I've got down there. 4, I'm going to give you a quick update on where I am with the snow foam testing. And 5, just some channel updates for going into 2019. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Typical Sunday afternoon here. The missus has just managed to make the washing machine leak all over the kitchen floor, don't it? So I've been on my hands and knees clearing up bits of grit and mess from the... All that happened was the overflow pipe popped off from where the machine vibrates its way out. And when she pushed it back in, she knocks the overflow pipe off where the thing goes in it, so it just pours all over the floor. She's done it so many times, so I need a permanent solution. I put it all back together again, then a few months later she ruins it. But anyway, it's part of my woes, so I'm sweating a bit here like a pig. Anyway, we just got some updates today. I've been cleaning the car and trying to get the car all nice again, and while doing that, having a look at some products. The first thing I want to talk about in this video, though, let's talk about the mould in the back of my car. So when I first bought this car, there was like a film of white residue, but it wasn't very noticeable, and I just thought it was product. Although it did cross my mind when I saw it was mould. Anyway, I just kind of wiped it down and cleaned it, and it's been fine. That's about 6 months. But I noticed some little patches of mould growing back in the car today, which really shouldn't be happening, should it, on a new car? I think it's this time of year where, well, it's not brand new, but, you know, newish car. It's this time of year where you get all the moisture back in there, and it's kind of the ideal conditions for the mould to grow back. So I probably hadn't killed off the mould properly. But let me know, guys, if you've got any little tips for killing mould so it doesn't come back. There's a hack, I think, that you can use vinegar and water and the acetic acid kills it, but I've never tried it. Didn't want to try it because of the smell. I just used the bottle of product that I had that says it deals with mould and stuff like that. Even though it's an enzyme eater, it's kind of, you know, kills bio stuff. So I just spritzed a little bit of this onto where the mould patches were and over the back seat and wiped it down. I'm hoping that will kill it off. But if you've got any tips and you face the same problem, let me know, guys. I'll be interested in that one, because it may well come back. Who knows? We will see. That's the first thing. The next thing, I just wanted to show you some footage of the test panel that we used for those 5 spray sealants: bead maker, BSD, H2O gloss and guard, wet coat and reload. About a month later, after these products have gone on, that panel's just been sitting out there. Some observations, guys, on kind of durability. One thing, when I spray water over that particular test panel before I've cleaned it, so all this dirt and debris falls on top of the panel, just like your car gets dirty when it's kind of sitting outside. And when I just rinse water over that panel, the only area or the only product which actually shows any hydrophobic performance at all is wet coat. The rest of the products are all sort of whatever hydrophobic qualities they have on the material that you've left behind is buried under the dirt, and it's non-existent. The water layer just lies on top of it and doesn't kind of push itself off. You know, on wet coat, when it's dirty, you still see, it's not prolific or anything like that with all dirt on it, but you still see it sort of eventually push the water away. And that's one of the reasons I like wet coat, is that it advertises this sort of self-cleaning properties that I can actually notice. And when you use it on your car as well, I find that the car, most of the road film comes off with the kind of pre-wash a little bit easier. And that kind of test seems to show it a little bit, or at least it's showing that that surface isn't as affected by all the dirt falling on it. So I think there's some sort of, you know, it's got a product claim there, and it seems to live up to it for me. And none of the other ones, especially BSD, which is really repellent, it just looks dead. Now, when you clean the test panel back, it is suddenly, and you get all that dirt off there, it's suddenly a different ball game. And Sonac's BSD just jumps back into life and is still beading like crazy. You know, really impressive water performance considering it's been sitting on there for a while for a detail spray, and that's what everyone knows it for. It is epic. There are not very many products that are going to beat that in terms of the hydrophobic performance and how long that hydrophobic performance lasts. After Sonac's BSD, then in second place with maintaining its hydrophobic performance once the panel's been cleaned back is Wet Coat. And then really the other three products, they're still sort of sheeting the water off a little bit, but they're more or less the same. Beadmaker is still going, but you know, there's not much there. Same with Reload and Gloss and Guard really. So in that sort of durability order, from just playing around with water, definitely BSD, Wet Coat, and then perhaps Reload and Gloss and Guard, and then Beadmaker, but there's not much in it between those final three. So I thought you'd be interested in that. Yeah, depends what you want. These are kind of products that are not really detail sprays. They are beyond detail sprays and more kind of topper spray sealants, if you like. So that's just talking about the panel 1 month on. What else is going on? Jeff from Prestige Car Care kindly sent me over some Griots stuff when he sent me the Beadmaker as well, and just chucked in some Griots stuff and said, you know, have a play around with it, see what you think. So I've used it today to wash my car. Now you've got two shampoos in the Griots Garage range. They're an American company. I've never used them before. Don't know much about them, although I recognise the kind of bottles and stuff like that. So you've got their normal car shampoo, 16 ounces for $10.99, which is a high concentrate, 1,000 to 1 shampoo, and that's what I've used. And you've got their kind of best of show wash and wax, which contains carnauba wax. So it's like a gloss enhancer shampoo that I don't typically use, but they're still, if you're just washing your car and you want your car to look good, you know, there's nothing wrong with these, but it depends how you want to do it. It's a time saver, isn't it, whenever you kind of incorporate stuff in there. I prefer to wash it, you know, and then if I'm decontaminating and stuff like that, there's no point in putting wax on before you do that. So, you know, that's what you have a pure shampoo for. What do I think of that pure shampoo, guys? Well, I used about 40 ml per 10 litres of water. It says 1 ounce per 2 US gallons, which is about 30 ml per 7 litres of water, roughly, a little bit more than that. So 40 ml for 10 litres sounds about right. It just seemed completely normal, guys. I had a good amount of foam. I'll overlay some of the shots. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. I washed the car. The car, once it was washed, looked amazing. Looks like, if I go around it with the camera and I'll overlay your shots, it looks amazing. It looks like it's just been freshly polished, but that's more to do with just the light and the clear coat and all that sort of stuff, even though the clear coat on this car isn't in great condition, but we'll show you more of that about that when I come to correct it. But the car was really nice and clean, so it did a good job. How good is this stuff, guys? Well, with shampoos, I've just overdosed on them, you know, and we've looked at all of them, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with this. I would happily use it, but would I buy it? Probably not, because of the ones that I've picked that I can get for a lot more value. This is a retail line, guys, whenever you buy a 16-ounce bottle, although I think in the US you can get larger kind of volumes of it, so you're not going to be able to get that kind of price that I can get for the Carchem one, which is like a wholesale one. Comparing it to the Adams Ultra Foam as well, I think the Ultra Foam is even a little bit more blingy. If I'd have used probably 40 ml of this in my bucket, it would have just been going nuts with foam. So perhaps I prefer the Ultra Foam one, but I would happily use this, guys. They're quite nice. It's a nice quality shampoo. They come in these nice bottles with big kind of handles on them. So if you're looking for a new shampoo, you can check that out, or you can check out the wash and wax. Now, the thing I really want to talk about with the Griots stuff, there are two spray products here. There's a Best of Show spray wax and a Best of Show detail spray. Best of Show spray wax is 20 quid for 22 ounces, about 650 millilitres. The Best of Show detail spray is $16.99 for 22 ounces, which is 650 millilitres. The product that has caught my eye is the Best of Show detail spray, guys. Now, this product, what is it? So it's a product that you would use just to gloss up your car. You spray it on, you work it over the panel with one microfiber, and then you flip it, and then you just buff it with a dry microfiber. If there's any kind of, you know, bits of product on there and stuff that are still wet, you just buff it up to a high shine. It's thin, it spreads quite easily, it flashes nice, and it leaves a really nice slick feel on the paintwork. This show wax isn't grippy or grabby, but I applied this on the door of my car and this around all of the rest of the car, and just when I run my fingers over where I've applied this, I can feel how smooth it feels. Whereas the door, it doesn't feel sticky, but it's not all silky smooth. Now what this product is not giving you, there's a move now in the market, isn't there, that a lot of detail sprays are also putting down components, protection components, which are quite durable and bond and add beading and stuff like that, which is the way the market seems to be going. But I actually want, and I said this in my clear out video, I just want a simple detail spray that's not going to leave materials that are going to bond and be on the car for months. I don't want that. I don't want to be pushing it onto my car every single time I wash it. I just want to wash it most times. There'll be protection on there, and then when I'm drying the car after I've got all the main water off, I'll just go back over with the detail spray and gloss it up, and that will clean off any sort of little patches of, like, you know, if a bit of soap runs down and dries or something like that, or if there's a fingerprint, just gets the panels looking really, really nice. So this detail spray is awesome, guys. It's probably one of the best I've used. However, there is a catch. The price tag, $16.99. Now, when I was talking about detail sprays in my last video, I'm looking for a detail spray that I can use, a simple detail spray that does exactly what this product does. That's exactly what I want. No beading, no protection, just a slick finish and nice to work with. But I want to pay about 20 quid for 5 litres, maybe 25 quid, something like that. And this product is $16.99 for 650 ml. It's out of my price bracket range for detail spray. So that is a shame, because I would be a customer. If I could get 5 litres of it for 20 to 30 quid, I'd be in there like a hawk. I think it's a really, really good detail spray. Griots do sell another one. Like, they sell 2 different spray waxes and 2 different detail sprays. And one of their sort of detail sprays is cheaper than this. And their best of show wax and best of show detail spray are more expensive. But I want this one. I don't want to go with the cheaper one, because this one's obviously got to be better. It's more expensive. It's the best of show one. So it's a bit of a shame, but I am really, really impressed with the product, guys. And if money isn't an object, then check out the best of show detail spray. The spray wax, again, at 20 quid is even more expensive. It will probably stick around a little bit longer, give you a little bit more kind of beading and that sort of stuff, but it's not a durability sealant or anything like that. It's still quite a simple spray wax that's easy to use. Use it in exactly the same way as the detail spray, basically. But the best of show detailer, pretty impressive in lots of ways. So I'll have a think about that. But like I say, I just want cheap chems personally. So that is the Griots range. What do I think about Griots generally, guys? Like I say, it's the first time I've ever used their products, and I go and have a little eyeball of the range, and I talk to people, you know, about what they think about it. And the chems have a good reputation from what I'm hearing, and the formulations are good. I mean, this spray wax is really well emulsified. There's no separation. It's just completely stable. The chems look well formulated. The bottles they come in are really, really good. Proper bespoke bottles with bespoke spray triggers on them. Just squirting product all over my car when I've just cleaned it. It's not good. You know, one thing about the Americans is they love kind of good quality accessories and all that sort of stuff. In the UK, we've got a lot of our products come with these little crappy, cheap spray triggers where you don't get any draw on them, and they spin round and rotate on you, and they're just frustrating to use, or at least I find them frustrating, and everyone I talk to finds them frustrating. And I think if those cheap triggers, if Griots tried to get away with using them on these bottles in America, the Americans would just chuck them back at the people trying to sell them. I reckon they would. You couldn't get away with that in America, but in the UK we just seem to put up with it. But they are really quality bottles, good quality products. Going back to what I was talking about with Griots, looking at it, it looked like a brand that, you know, has got kind of shelf space in lots of retail stores, which is a hard thing to get as a detailing company. And if you can get that, you can sell a lot of product. The downside, or sometimes those sorts of companies are less prone to keeping up with the scene and innovating. So there was a kind of old school feel about Griots, especially with the formulations all being kind of wax based, or from what I've seen here and some of the other products. But they look like they're starting to release some new formulations again and get that ball rolling, because I think it's really important to keep up with the scene and innovate as well and explore new materials. They've got like a foaming wash which is also lays down protection. That's the sort of thing you're seeing becoming more popular. So if they can keep the ball rolling in the right direction, they make it all in-house, even the bottles and the sprayers, I'm told. It could be a good brand, and I can understand from Jeff's point of view why he's kind of stocking it as well. So I hope that's a kind of fair review. Like I say, I'm really impressed with the Best of Show detail spray. I don't think there's anything you could not like about that. Really easy to spread, very light, flashes quite quickly. So lots of detail sprays carry a small amount of water miscible solvent in there as well. So this is well formulated. Right, now we're going to move on to the next things, guys. We are going to move on to the snow foam testing. I've just bought up a load of little mild steel test panels for this because I also want to test all of these different snow foams to see if any of them are caustic or more caustic than the other when I soak a test panel in there and then just leave that. Do it all at the same time, line them all up and observe what happens to all those mild steel panels. I'm also working on a new grease formula, forensic detailing grease formula, like I did with the shampoo video, but I need a lot less grease and a lot more solvent, so I put a very thin layer of grease concentration down that I can actually affect with these products so that I can then do sort of a comparison. I'm also using them in the field, guys, and I'm going to be comparing them on all the obvious stuff, foaming levels, price and value for money and cost per wash and all that, and finally giving you an overall recommendation. I'm really looking forward to getting this one done, actually, because should have done this one a long time ago. Finally, guys, some channel updates for 2019. One channel update, guys, is I'm having to shut down the messaging feature on the Forensics Detailing Facebook page. We're on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. And Instagram and Twitter are fine. There's very little overhead for me. You know, I can just kind of put stuff on there, and, you know, I don't have those apps on my phone or have the notifications active on my phone. I never check those on my phone. They're too intrusive. So I just tend to put the pictures on. Facebook, though, the messaging feature, guys, every time I go and check my computer, there's a lot of messages there, which sounds like you're saying, oh, aren't I popular? You know, I don't have time to talk to people. It's been one of the most enjoyable things doing this on the channel, is communicating with people, and I try and do it a fair old amount, try and respond to questions and that. But the overhead of the messaging feature on Facebook is, I can't keep up with it, and it's getting to the point where it's taking up hours of my time, and that's just not viable for you know, a one-man band channel like me. So that's going to have to shut down. If you've got any questions regarding detailing, put them in the comments for the appropriate video, guys, and I will always try to respond there. But it also means that other people can answer the comments there, and it also means people can see the question and the answer, so they might not therefore need to ask the question. Most of the stuff I get asked is around machine polishing and wax making, or it's inquiries about kind of products, reviews and stuff like that, which is it's just a massive overhead for it that's too much for a one-man band. So that, unfortunately, has got to be shut down. Not the page, just the messaging feature. So be sure to follow Forensics Detailing on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter if you haven't done already. There's the plug. I couldn't resist the plug. What else is going on, guys? Just little things for 2019 that I'm planning on changing. I'm going to try and get out on the road a little bit more, visit some more kind of details and stuff, guys, that I talk to. Do a little bit more kind of content of professional detailers, perhaps, in action, and, you know, quizzing them, interviewing them, seeing what products they use, what methods they're using, because I think that would be quite nice, and hopefully get to see some nice cars being kind of cleaned as well, and all that sort of stuff. So that's a pledge for this year. I pledged that last year, I think, and I didn't do too well on that, but I'll try and get a bit more sociable this year, if you like. So there's some of the changes I'm thinking about for 2019, trying to balance the content a little bit more, while still enjoying it, guys, because, you know, you get the old YouTube burnout. You know, you can only, I've talked about so many detailing products, you know, YouTube burnout is a reality, but you've got to stay hungry. That's one of the most important things. So I've got to keep that hunger there and enjoy it, and at the moment I am. most of the time, although winter sucks, doesn't it? But a couple more months, guys, we'll be back into the summer. That is it for this year, although by the time you're watching this, it may already be 2019. We've got loads more to come next year, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the Forensics Detailing channel if you haven't already done so. Available, you know, in all regions. So thanks very much for all your support and for watching the channel over the year. It's much appreciated, and I'll see you soon on the channel. Bye for now.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I?